One of the largest airlines in the world could soon operate a line of self-flying aircraft. Wisk Aero and Japan Airlines announced a partnership that seeks to lay the groundwork for autonomous aviation. The companies are looking to certify and demonstrate Wisk's eVTOL aircraft in Japan, working with that country's government agencies to clear a flight path for air taxis nationwide. The Memorandum of Understanding calls for collaboration between the two firms and the Japanese Civil Aviation Bureau, among other agencies. Together, they plan to research the certification, maintenance, overhaul, and airspace integration of Wisk's Generation 6 eVTOL with the aim of a demonstration flight, and eventually, the launch of a commercial fleet. The planned air taxi service is one of several proposed by Japanese agencies, companies, and their partners in recent years. Wisk's electric-powered air taxi has a range of 90 miles with reserves, and a cruise speed of around 120 knots. Across its 36-foot wingspan are 12 tilt-rotor propellers, mounted ahead of the wings, which allow it to take off vertically before transitioning to cruise flight. However, Wisk, which is backed by the likes of Boeing and Kitty Hawk, is not the only eVTOL firm with an agreement to introduce air taxis to Japanese airspace. In fact, Japan Airlines itself has another agreement with German eVTOL maker Volocopter targeting an air taxi launch later this year, pending certification of the firm's Volocity aircraft. Meanwhile, competitor All Nippon Airways, which recently dethroned Japan Airlines as the country's top airline, is working with US-based Joby Aviation on its own air taxi service for the city of Osaka. Potential entries into that market also include Tokyo's SkyDrive, which aims to launch a fleet of flying cars at the 2025 World Expo, and Osaka's SkyTaxi, which just bought air taxis from Plana. It's unclear when flying taxis in the US and Japan will hit the market, but it's likely to happen around the same time. That's because the FAA and JCAB are cooperating on advanced air mobility certification and operations, sharing research and ideas to help get the industry off the ground. Japan too is working with aviation stakeholders to develop its own regulatory framework for air taxis, aiming to introduce new rules by 2024 ahead of the Expo 2025 in Osaka and Kansai, where the government hopes to demonstrate an array of eVTOLs to the public. 2025 seems to be a good estimate of when air taxis will enter service. It's the year Japan Airlines, Joby, SkyDrive, and others are targeting commercial launches, with additional companies only looking further out. But even then, chances are that pilots are not in immediate danger of losing their jobs. Early eVTOLs will likely be expensive and therefore niche, limited to applications such as tourism and private business flights. Wisk is one of only a handful of eVTOL companies attempting to remove the pilot from the aircraft entirely, though others could follow over the next decade. So, don't expect air taxis to become the norm anytime soon. But if you're curious about how they'll eventually be integrated into airspace, keep an eye on Wisk, Japan Airlines, and others who are pushing for a new network of self-flying aircraft.